Hello MotoGP enthusiasts. Welcome back to ZNGP Today. Pablo Nieto offers a clear, measured read of the early season. VR46 is growing around Fabio Di Giannantonio. Aprilia has pushed the established order. Franco Morbidelli needs steady work to find consistency. And despite an injury comeback, Marc Márquez remains the benchmark. Nieto frames Jerez as the first true test and hints that the transfer market will crystallize soon. Ducati has answered Aprilia's aerodynamic push by fitting its Desmosedici with so-called leg wings, marking a fresh phase in MotoGP's aero arms race. The upgrade, debuted at Austin, signals that the paddock's innovation lead is now contestable and that rear-end aero has become the new technical battleground. Yamaha appears to have pulled another surprise in the 2027 rider market by reportedly securing Aerodynamic to join Jorge Martin. The move reshapes several team plans. It strengthens Yamaha's long-term lineup, forces Luca Marini back onto the market, and deepens uncertainty around Alex Rins's future. The transfer story also underlines how quickly a single signing can cascade across the grid. Livio Suppo describes Yamaha's switch to a V4 as bold but risky, committing to a 1,000 cubic centimeters V4 while simultaneously developing the 850 cubic centimeters project could spread resources thin and slow progress. Suppo praises the courage of the strategy but warns that only sustained development and clear prioritization will determine whether the move succeeds. Don't forget to click subscribe button and the bell icon for MotoGP news update. Nieto credits VR46's positive start to a stronger team dynamic and a rider hitting his stride. Fabio Di Giannantonio has become a central figure for the squad, showing comfort with the bike and the crew that translates into more frequent front-running results. He feels very comfortable with the bike, with the team, with everyone, and that's leading to very good results. Morbidelli's season is a work in progress. Nieto admits the team still needs to identify precisely what will unlock his regular front-running form and stresses a gradual, methodical approach to improvement. I'd like to know exactly what he needs because that way we could help him better. Aprilia's opening salvo has reshaped expectations. Nieto sees Marco Bezzecchi and Jorge Martin as delivering decisive performances, with aerodynamic gains giving Aprilia an edge in the first 3 rounds. He expects Jerez to be the first circuit that separates short-term form from sustainable competitiveness. Aprilia is a step ahead in the first 3 races. Early season aerodynamic or setup advantages can be decisive, but Jerez's technical demands will reveal which teams have balanced single-lap speed with race day durability. Despite injury and a cautious start, Nieto is unequivocal about Márquez's status. He is still the rider to beat. Nieto stresses that past performance and championship pedigree keep Márquez at the top of any title conversation, even while acknowledging the recovery process. We know he's coming back from an injury, but he's still the rider to beat. Publicly naming a recovering champion as the benchmark reduces external pressure on him, while signaling respect and the expectation of a comeback. Nieto highlights the championship's growing parity. Names like AI Ogura have shown race-changing pace, and several riders can influence podium battles. Valentino Rossi's hands-on involvement continues to add marginal gains for VR46, and behind the scenes the transfer market is nearing resolution, with moves likely to be confirmed around Jerez. A driver like Fermin Aldeguer is of interest to any team. He has a very bright future. Depth across the grid raises the premium on consistency and team structure. Veteran guidance and timely roster decisions can swing mid-season momentum. Nieto's assessment is pragmatic and forward-looking. VR46 must build on Di Giannantonio's form and find a stable package for Morbidelli. Teams must watch Jerez for a clearer championship picture, and Márquez's return keeps the title race open. If teams convert early speed into race consistency and the transfer market settles without disruption, the championship should remain tightly contested as Europe begins. For years Ducati set the aero agenda. Now the balance has shifted. Aprilia's ground effect work and recent rear aero developments forced rivals to reassess, and Ducati's leg wings are a direct response to that pressure. You always have to look at who's leading the pack. When a former trendsetter adopts a rival's concept, it confirms a change in the competitive narrative rather than a one-off tweak. The new elements target stability in high-speed sections and improved control under braking and corner exit. Riders reported greater confidence in fast corners, suggesting the parts influence chassis balance and aerodynamic load distribution at the rear. I feel like you have more stability in fast corners. Coming out of fast corners, I feel more comfortable. Small aero pieces can yield meaningful handling shifts. The trick is integrating them without compromising tire life or race distance balance. Austin produced a mixed verdict. While Bagnaia praised the stability gains, race performance suffered with tire degradation and it dropped to 10th. Conversely, Ducati's best result came on a conventional setup, raising questions about the part's immediate net benefit. Early iterations of aero upgrades often show promise in specific sectors or laps but need refinement to deliver consistent race day advantage. Aprilia's success underlines the importance of rear aerodynamics. Massimo Rivola stressed the rear's role in braking stability and control, arguing that teams ignoring rear aero do so at their peril. The regulatory clamp on front fairings has pushed innovation to subtler zones like leg wings and rear spoilers. If others think aerodynamics doesn't matter, let them think again. With front limits tightened, manufacturers will exploit legal rear and underbody areas, making marginal gains decisive. Ducati must iterate quickly, refine the leg wings to limit tire wear, adapt setups for race distance, and decide when to deploy the parts across tracks. For rivals, the move signals that the aero race is now multidirectional. Teams will both copy and counter-develop in short order. Successful aero development requires tight rider feedback loops and track-specific calibration. Rushed rollouts can backfire if they upset tire or chassis balance. Austin confirmed that MotoGP's aerodynamic war has entered a new chapter focused on rear-end detail. Ducati's leg wings are a clear statement of intent, a recognition that Aprilia's recent gains must be matched. But the upgrade is not an instant cure. Expect a period of refinement as teams chase stability without sacrificing tire life. If Ducati can tune the package for race distance, the parts could restore its edge. If not, Aprilia's current momentum may widen the gap. Reports that Yamaha has agreed terms with AI Ogura signal a decisive recruitment aimed at rebuilding momentum after a difficult period. Ogura's rapid rise from Moto2 champion to a strong MotoGP rookie has made him a coveted asset, and Yamaha's reported capture suggests the factory wants a blend of youth, adaptability, and long-term upside alongside Jorge Martin. Landing a promising young rider can be as important as signing an established star. It reshapes development priorities and sends a message about a team's future direction. Pairing Ogura with Martin would give Yamaha a mix of proven pace and emerging talent. Ogura's adaptability and strong early-season form make him a useful foil for development work, potentially accelerating chassis and electronics progress. For Yamaha, the signing is both a sporting and political statement. It shows the brand still attracts top prospects despite recent struggles. Ogura's reported move pushes Luca Marini back into a market that is already tightening. With factory Honda likely set on other pairings and satellite seats limited, Marini faces a scramble for options. Tech 3 and other satellite projects are floated as possibilities, but nothing is certain. Teams will weigh Marini's development strengths against budget and strategic fit. The ripple effects hit Alex Rins hard. Struggling on the Yamaha this season and with the grid filling fast, Rins's prospects of securing a factory seat look slim. At 10 seasons in, he faces a market that prizes recent form and youth, and his continuation in MotoGP is now uncertain. Teams weighing experience against potential may opt for younger, longer-term projects. Ogura's move stabilizes some scenarios and complicates others. Raul Fernandez may find his trackhouse future strengthened if the team retains continuity, while Joan Mir and other free agents remain viable options for teams reshuffling around Honda and satellite projects. The potential Tech 3 switch from KTM to Honda would further alter available seats and manufacturer strategies. One confirmed signing frequently triggers a chain reaction. Teams reassess targets, satellite links are renegotiated, and riders previously on the periphery suddenly gain or lose leverage. If Yamaha's reported deal for Aero is confirmed, the 2027 market will tilt toward youth and development potential, forcing established names to adapt quickly. The immediate consequences are clear. Luca Marini must find a new path, Alex Rins's future is precarious, and Trackhouse and satellite teams will have to recalibrate recruitment plans. Over the medium term, Yamaha gains a promising pairing that could accelerate technical progress. In the short term, expect a flurry of negotiations and a compressed market as teams scramble to fill the remaining seats. Yamaha's decision to abandon the long-running inline-4 and embrace a V4 represents a major technical reset. The factory committed to a full V4 program for 2026 while also preparing for the incoming 850cc rules, effectively running two complex development tracks in parallel. They've chosen a very difficult path. Early results underline the challenge. The V4 package has yet to match the competitiveness of the previous inline concept, which, despite its flaws, still produced poles and near wins. On current form, the V4 lags behind, leaving Yamaha adrift in the constructors' standings and its riders struggling for top results. The V4, in its current state, seems a long way from achieving that kind of performance. Transition periods often show a dip in results. The key question is whether development velocity can outpace rivals' gains. Star rider Fabio Quartararo's visible frustration reflects the on-track consequences of the technical reset. When a lead rider loses confidence in the package, it complicates development feedback and morale. Suppo points to missed opportunities last year with the inline-4 as evidence that Yamaha once had a platform capable of top results, heightening the pressure to make the V4 work. Rider buy-in is crucial during platform shifts. Manufacturers must balance technical ambition with short-term competitiveness to keep top talent engaged. With the 850cc regulations looming, Yamaha's dual-track approach aims to future-proof the factory. But developing a 1000cc V4 and an 850cc prototype simultaneously raises the risk of doing two things badly, rather than one thing well. Suppo warns that the complexity of parallel programs can dilute engineering focus and slow meaningful gains. By making both the 1000cc V4 and the 850cc at the same time, the risk is that instead of doing one thing well, they do two things badly. Suppo frames Yamaha's path as commendable for its ambition, choosing a difficult route to position the brand for the future. Yet he stresses that courage alone isn't enough. Execution, development pace, and honest assessment of trade-offs will decide the outcome. Yamaha must accelerate learning cycles, focus rider feedback, and avoid spreading its engineering bandwidth too thin. Bold strategies can reshape a championship, but only if matched by disciplined project management and rapid, targeted iteration. Suppo's verdict is pragmatic. Yamaha's V4 switch is courageous and potentially forward-looking, but its success is not guaranteed. If Yamaha can concentrate resources, speed up development, and keep riders engaged, the gamble could pay dividends as regulations change. If the factory fragments focus across two major programs, short-term competitiveness may suffer and rivals could capitalize. Time, and the team's ability to convert ambition into consistent on-track performance, will tell. Thanks for watching ZNGP Today, and this is your MotoGP news update. And see you next time!